Greetings and welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team video, where today I'm going over the updated rules for the Kasrkin Kill Team for the new edition of Kill Team. But before we get into things, please remember to like and subscribe as well as comment. Let me know what you thought of the updated rules. And remember, I've got a Discord you can check out in the episode description below, an affiliate link at Element Games and Crossfire Games, as well as a Patreon if you want to give me some more support. But yeah, I'm covering the new rules of the Kasrkin Kill Team, which you can find on Warhammer Community for free, as well as the Kill Team app. So let's get on with it. So for operatives, So for the roster, you're still security and seek and destroy, which is actually is changed. I believe it actually used to be seek and destroy and recon. So they've just gone back to security and seek and destroy, which is a bit of a nerf because of how powerful recon is. But I guess they wanted to tone them down. Your operatives are still 1 leader and 9 operatives. So you've got a Kasrkin sergeant who can either have a bolt pistol and power weapon, hotshot lasgun and gunbutt, hotshot las pistol and power weapon, plasma pistol and chainsword. Then you can take either a combat medic, a demo trooper, gunner with flamer, gunner with grenade launcher, gunner with a hotshot volley gun, gunner with melter gun, gunner with plasma gun, the recon trooper, sharpshooter, trooper, and vox trooper. So other than the trooper, you can have each operative only once, and you cannot include more than 4 of a mix of gunners and sharpshooters. So you could have a sharpshooter and 3 gunners or 4 gunners. So that's the other combination. Completely unchanged otherwise. For the faction rules, you have skill at arms. Elite points are gone. So you, as a strategic gambit, select a skill at arms for a friendly Kasrkin operative to have until the ready step of the next strategy phase. You've got light 'em up. Whenever a friendly Kasrkin operative is shooting a ready enemy operative, that friendly operative range weapons have the severe weapon rule. So if you don't roll any crits, you can turn a normal into a crit. Very, very good. Then you've got strike fast, like a flowing river. Whenever a friendly Kasrkin operative is performing the reposition action, add 1 inch to its movement stat. Very good. Then you've got ice in your veins. Whenever a friendly Kasrkin operative is fighting or retaliating, or an operative is shooting at it, the first time an attack dice inflicts a normal damage of 4 more on this operative in that sequence, it's -1 damage. So that's okay. Better if you're, like, I guess, trying to hold out, like, during the end of the game. Then you've got Facadia. Add 1 to the attack stat of friendly Kasrkin melee weapon operatives to a maximum of 4. So all very, very solid. Although you're probably just going to go light them up all the time because severe with shooting is very, very good. Like turning point 1, you're probably going strike fast and then switching to light them up. Very good. For ploys, starting with strategy ploys, we have elimination pattern. Whenever a friendly Kasrkin operative is shooting with a hotshot weapon against a target that's not in cover, that weapon has the piercing crits 1 weapon rule, or piercing 1 instead if it's a hotshot volley gun. This is actually pretty good, especially for the volley gun, because now your volley gun is effectively always piercing 1. This is really good, especially into horde teams and teams that don't ignore piercing. Then you've got engage from cover. Whenever an operative is shooting a friendly Kasrkin operative that's in cover, you can reroll 1 of your defense dice. That's okay. Then you've got clearance sweep. Place 1 of your clearance sweep markers in the kill zone. Whenever a friendly Kasrkin operative is within 5 inches horizontally of that marker is shooting an operative that's also within 5 inches of it horizontally, that friendly operative's weapons have the balanced weapon rule. In the ready of the strategy of the next strategy phase, you remove it. So it doesn't just apply to your ranged weapons. Your melee gets balanced and well. So this is very good. Then you've got relocate. Select 1 friendly Kasrkin operative that's more than 3 inches from enemy operatives. That operative and each other friendly operative that's both within 3 inches of this operative and more than 3 inches from enemy operatives can immediately perform a free dash action in any order of your choice, and you cannot use it during turning point 1. So you effectively pick someone, and then everyone within 3 that is more than 3 inches from enemy operatives can dash again. Very powerful, especially if, like, I don't know, Games Workshop allowed you to take in a completely different kill team. But otherwise, still really good. Relocate's unchanged. Then you've got for firefight ploys, seize the initiative. Use this firefight ploy at the end of the firefight phase, excluding the final firefight phase. In the initiative step of the next strategy phase, when rolling off to decide initiative, you can do one of the following: reroll your dice for initiative, or force your opponent to reroll their dice. Which is, honestly, this was already a good ploy because it let you reroll your initiative. But if your opponent, for example, you roll a 6, your opponent roll a 6, you go like, reroll that, bro. It's just so good. Like, wow. Then you've got cover retreat. Use this firefight ploy when a friendly Kasrkin operative performs a fallback action, visible and within 6 inches of another ready friendly Kasrkin operative that's not within control range of enemy operatives. After that friendly operative has finished moving, but before that fallback action ends, that other friendly operative can immediately perform a free shoot action. So you effectively fall back and your bro shoots. This is really good. Then you've got neutralize target. Use this firefight ploy when a friendly Kasrkin operative is shooting. After rolling your attack dice, If the target is expended and not in cover, you can reroll any of your attack dice. So a CP for Relentless event, effectively. Then you've got Give No Ground. Use this firefight ploy during a friendly Kasrkin Operatives activation or at the end of the firefight phase. Select one of your mission markers on an objective marker until the end of that activation or until the start of the next turning point, respectively. The total APL friendly Kasrkin Operatives contesting that marker is 2, and the total APL Operatives contesting that is the same. Friendly operative Kasrkin Operatives control that marker. So effectively, if you control an objective where your total AP to APL stat is both 2, so for example, if you're on 2 and your opponent has 2, you count as controlling that marker, but you can't go like, oh, we both count as 2 and we both control it. So you need one operative on it. It doesn't work against effectively someone with +1 APL or a Space Marine, although it will work against a Space Marine who's stunned. So it's this very like situational firefight ploy, but it's okay. For operatives, you've got the Kasrkin Sergeant, who has 3 APL, 6-inch move, 4 up save, and 9 wounds. You can take a bolt pistol, which is 4 attacks in on freeze 3-4 range 8. Hotshot lasgun, which is 4 attacks in on freeze 3-4. Hotshot las pistol, which is 4 attacks in on freeze 3-4 range 8. Plasma pistol, which is 4 attacks in on freeze 3-5 range 8 piercing 1, and when it's supercharged, it's 4/5 with range 8 hot lethal 5 up piercing 1. You've got a chainsword, which is 4 attacks in on freeze 4-5. It has lost ceaseless. Then you've got a gunbutt, which is 3 attacks in on freeze 2-3, and a power weapon, which is 4 attacks in on freeze 4-6. So you always, in my opinion, usually go with the hotshot las pistol and the power weapon, because the las pistol, even though it's the same as the bolt gun, the hotshot las pistol actually procs more of your ploys and abilities, so you always use that. The chainsword and plasma pistol is okay, and it's worth taking if you want another plasma. Then you've got Tactical Command for 0 action points. Select one friendly Kasrkin Operative. Select a skill at arms for that operative to have instead of the one it currently has until the ready step of the next strategy phase. Alternatively, instead of resolving the above effect, if your clearance sweep marker is in the kill zone, you can remove it and place it again. This operative cannot perform this action while control range of enemy operatives. So your leader's been buffed. Not only are they free OPL, they get a free action where they can either change one friendly operative's skill at arms or move your clearance sweep. So you've got dual purpose there, which actually makes the leader really cool. And if they want to keep the theme of elite humans being free APR as the leaders, I think that makes sense. I would have liked it for veteran, like for Death Corps and maybe Exaction Squad, but that probably would have been too powerful. But it's a nice trend. Then you've got the Combat Medic, who has a hotshot lasgun, which is 4 attacks in on freeze 3-4, and a gunbutt, which is 3 attacks in on force 2-3. It's got the standard profile of your kill team, which is 2 APL, 6-inch move, 4 up save, 8 wounds. It's got the medic ability, so if someone dies within 3, they don't die, you're both -1 APL, and if they dash, they have to end within control range of the medic. And then you've got the medkit action for 0 action points. Select one, so you heal someone for 2d3 if you didn't use the medic rule on them. This used to be 1 action point, but it's just free. So the medic is really, really good. That's amazing. The medic has been buffed. Then you've got your Demo Trooper, who does still and always will remind me of Fat Man from Metal Gear Solid 2. He's got the Hotshot Lance Pistol, which is 4 attacks on freeze, 3-4 range 8. Then a gunbutt. He's got the Melter Mine. So this operative is carrying your Melter Mine marker. It can perform the pickup marker action on that marker, and whenever it performs the place marker action on that marker, it can immediately perform a free dash action. That marker cannot be placed within an enemy operative's control range. If this operative is incapacitated while carrying that marker and that marker cannot be placed, it's removed with this operative. It's got Proximity Mine. The first time your Melter Mine marker is within another operative's control range, remove that marker and inflict 2d6 plus 3 damage on the operative. If it is incapacitated, end its action, if any. If that effects aren't fulfilled, it cannot be placed. Move it the minimum amount to do so. Note that this operative is ignored for these effects. It cannot set off or take damage from that marker because it used to be able to blow itself up, so it's good it can't. Then you've got Blast Padding. Whenever an operative is shooting this operative with a weapon that has Blast or Torrent, excluding weapons that have a sweeping profile, you can reroll one of your defense dice. In addition, this operative isn't affected by X devastating X weapon roll unless they are the target during that sequence. So he's actually been buffed. So you start with the Melter Mine marker. It no longer, well, technically is weaker, but it doesn't affect everyone. It only affects a single operative. The interesting thing, when the Demo Trooper dies and you haven't placed your Melter Mine, you still place it. So you always have to keep in mind, if it dies, the marker doesn't disappear, it drops, and then it will just trigger as a proximity mine, which is actually pretty good. So it's dual utility. So if he somehow dies before placing, it just drops, but it can't drop in someone's control range. On average, it will do technically 10 damage to an operative, which is crazy, especially for elites. So you can like put in access points and just screw people up. Very good. Then you've got your gunner who can either take a flamer, a grenade launcher with crag or crack, a hotshot volley gun with a focused and sweeping profile, a melter gun and plasma gun and gun butt. So in my opinion, you always take the melter gun and you always take the plasma gun. You may want to take the hotshot volley gun, but I think the grenade launcher is just better because it's more reliable. The hotshot volley gun requires CP to be used, and even then, even when it goes to piercing 1, it's only 5 attacks hit on freeze 3-4. It's like, you could argue into horde teams the grenade launcher is better than the melter gun, but I like the melter gun as like a close range elite operative. Maybe into 7 wound teams, you can probably take the hotshot volley over the grenade launcher, or you may drop the sniper. But we'll get onto the sniper in a bit. Then you've got the recon trooper, who has a hotshot las gun and a gun butt. Then you've got the reconnaissance kill zone, the relocate strategy deploy, cost 0 CP if this is the operative selected for a friendly Kasrkin operative. If this operative is an inquisitorial agents, you can use this rule, replace the Kasrkin on that ploy with inquisitorial agents. This takes precedence of the restriction of the inquisitorial requisition rule, and you cannot use this ploy with an inquisitorial agent kill team unless operative is selected. So I've already discussed this in the Inquisition review. This is absolutely bizarre. This is the only instance in the game where an operative has been designed to be better in another kill team. So this operative is specifically designed to not only let you use the relocate ploy for free, it allows you to use it Inquisition for free, and then it will also affect Inquisition operatives. So you would go like, what? No one would ever use it on this operative for free, and then also dash, I don't know, like their melter pistol, like their plasma pistol and their melee operatives. Like no one would do that on Inquisition. That'd be crazy. It's just absolutely bizarre. Even like, as I said, the Goonhammer team found that incredibly weird. And that was from most of the 40k team. Like, we don't really have this unless there's like crazy modifiers. So it feels like someone was designing Kasrkin to specifically only work better in inquisitorial agents. So anyway, I'm right about that. It is to kind of compensate that it used to give you a free reposition. But why not just give me the free reposition instead of like already making this really good ploy? 0 CP is incredibly strong. And then just making it work in Inquisition is like you didn't care about balance. Then you got Auspex scan for 1 action point until the start of this operative's next activation, until it's incapacitated, whichever comes first. Whenever a friendly operative is shooting an enemy operative with an H as an operative, they cannot be obscured and they cannot perform this while in control range. So the recon troop is still really good. It grants you ignoring obscuring, but you have to be quite close. But the fact that it gives you a free relocate is very powerful. So you're probably going to use this trooper to get quite close, but considering it can give you, if you used it every turn, 4 free CP, and then additionally can give you situational ignore obscuring, the recon troop is very good for Kasrkin. Then you've got the sharpshooter, who has a hotshot marksman rifle. It's got concealed profile, which is 4 attacks hitting on 2s, free devastating, free silent concealed position, so you can only use this profile once per game. It's got the mobile profile, which is 4 attacks hitting on 3s, 3-4, and then the stationary profile, which is 4 attacks hitting on 2s, free dev, free heavy, and the gun bar. It has a camo cloak rule, so it ignores saturate weapon rule, and if you retain any cover saves, you can retain additional normal or one as a crit, but it's not cumulative with advantage. This is weird. I think you still take it, but once again, it should be permanent silent. I don't know. The Kasrkin sharpshooter is all right. Like, it's better on Vocus, but it can't really ignore obscuring. I actually think most of the time you drop it for 4 gunners now, which is not something I expected to say, but it's weird. Like, it's an energy weapon. Shouldn't it be permanent silent? Like, this is my problem with the silence in general. Either you make every silent once per game, or you just, you know, don't give some people when it should make sense. The sharpshooter is all right. The problem was before it was really good because its mobile profile was better than the ballistic skill of other Kasrkin. Now it's kind of just not great. Like, I hate it, like giving snipers all ignore obscuring, but maybe if it had it, I would probably take it. The fact you can get more use of the hotshot volley gun probably makes it more useful. Then you've got the trooper as a hotshot las gun and grenade gun butt. It's got adaptive equipment, so you can do each of the following once per turning point. You can use the smoke grenade action, or you can use the stun grenade action. Doesn't count towards your equipment choices and is free. So effectively, you're always taking a minimum of 1 trooper. So you get 1 trooper doing either a free smoke or stun. If you can fit another in your kill team, then you get 1 free smoke and 1 free stun per turning point. Very nice. Then you've got the Vox Trooper as a hotshot las gun and gun bat. It's got Battle Comms. Select one other friendly Kasrkin operative until the end of the Operatives next activation. Add one to its APL stat to a maximum of 3 after all APL stats have been totaled. So you can't make the leader for APL. This operative can perform this action twice during its activation, but not while within control range of enemy operatives. So this is unchanged. So what you usually do is have the Vox operator sitting at the backfield, giving 2 different operatives +1 APL. And what you should do is at the end of turning point 1, have 2 operatives with +1 APL. And then if they're in safe enough positions, you can give 2 more operatives +1 APL. So for turning point 2, you have 4 operatives with 3 APL. So very, very powerful. For faction equipment, you've got 4 grips. Whenever a friendly Kasrkin operative is shooting an operative within 3 inches of it, its ranged weapons on the data card, excluding weapons that include pistol in the name, have the accurate 1 weapon rule. So this used to ignore ballistic skill modifiers, so it's a bit worse. But getting accurate 1 at close range is fine. It just depends who you're playing against. Then you've got long range scope. Whenever a friendly Kasrkin operative is shooting an operative more than 6 inches from it, in the roll attack dice step, if you retain any critical successes, its hotshot weapons, excluding the hotshot lance pistol, have the saturate weapon rule. So this is actually pretty good because it procs if you're taking the special rule that gives everyone severe, because then it stacks with your long range scopes. So I like that it gives synergy to your hotshot rifles. Very, very nice. Then you've got Relics of Cadia. Once per turning point when a friendly Kasrkin operative is shooting, if you roll 2 or more fails, you can discard one of them to retain the others as a normal success. Considering you're shooting all the time, this is amazing. And then you've got combat daggers. Friendly Kasrkin operatives have combat daggers, which are 3 attacks in on 4s, 3/4. This is all right, what you had before. For equipment, I think you're always taking the scope, Relics of Cadia, and probably combat daggers. So you're probably taking like a second piece or like a 4th piece of equipment is usually probably going to be maybe more stuns, something like that. Something this team can make a lot of use out of. But even taking 4 grips isn't too bad because you could just move it, you can reposition and dash to get within someone's face and then gain accurate 1. So a really nice selection of equipment there. So for the Kasrkin kill team, this is still a 1-box kill team. So the only thing that slightly changed is how you build it. I would always build the Kasrkin Sergeant with the plasma pistol and chainsword. Then I would also build a combat medic, demo trooper, gunner with grenade launcher, gunner with hotshot volley, gunner with melter gun, plasma gunner, the recon trooper, the trooper, and then the Vox trooper. So the reason I would do this, you capped at 4 gunners, right? The sharpshooter's a lot worse. And in general, those 4 gunners will give you way more usage. And then you also have a plasma pistol hitting on 3s. Very, very nice. If you wanted to expand into a bit more, I would try and eBay like 1 or 2 free like extra bodies to build the recon trooper and then maybe another trooper as well as the sergeant. So a sergeant with a hotshot las pistol and power weapon. You could use a commissar to represent that. The only issue is the commissar would have the bolt pistol and power weapon in case you wanted to flex into certain teams like Felgor Ravager, but that's only if you wanted to go a little bit further. I think that 1-box situation of just plasma pistol, chainsword, 4 gunners, recon trooper, Vox trooper, demo trooper, combat medic is more than fine enough. It's a really good loadout, and I think it's just really fun and great to learn the game with, considering how much friendlier Kasrkin are. And yeah, at least it's a 1-box kill team. You only really need to get those extras if you want to go the extra mile for maximum flexibility, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. There's only a few matchups where you're going to want the power weapon, and there's only going to be, I think there's only going to be very few instances when you also want the sharpshooter. So for the Kasrkin overview, I think they're a lot better. They're a lot fun. Look, I'm willing to admit I was always happy with them being ballistic skill free as long as they didn't have elite points. Games Workshop did the right thing. They got rid of elite points instead of like making them do special abilities and replaced it with their skillet arms, and the skillet arms are very, very cool. I like how your leader can change an operative skillet arms. Like if you needed someone to get someone really quick, you can give them the move, so then they're repositioning 7 inches, which is really, really nice, really good. The kill team is still incredibly weak to close combat, but at the moment they are still, well, they were the premier elite hunters. They are better in Inquisition. There's no way around it. You are probably buying Kasrkin to run them in Inquisition at the moment, and I can't blame you. It's literally, they have designed an operative to work better in Inquisition than in Kasrkin. It's unfortunate, but I think if you're running pure Kasrkin, you can get a lot out of it. They're way more skillful and actually more mobile. They really now excel at moving within 2 inches and shooting people, because what you have to remember, indirect, which is Seek now, is very hard to get. So most of the shots people will be getting, especially in like Volcus, is getting within 2 inches. So now when you're getting within 2 inches, your opponent is in cover, and a lot more of your ploys start kicking off now. So especially when you're not playing into teams that ignore piercing, most of your guns are now hot piercing 1, but if you've got the saturate rule up, the severe rule up, all of your hot shot las guns are piercing 1, and then you would take everything else that's piercing 1 as well. So you can really shred a lot of teams. You now are incredibly invulnerable at close combat. You don't have the 4K deploy to give you like a 5-up feel no pain, as well as making your combat attacks +1 damage. So you do really have to play around that, and that's maybe times when you take the power weapon leader. But I think the chainsword is better because it loses lethal 5-up, but it's 4-5. It's a shame the chainsword didn't get balanced instead of ceaseless that it lost. But the kill team is like really cool, and it's really mobile. It's a shame they lost recon, but I think you can do security pretty well. They don't like Seek and Destroy at the moment. Seek and Destroy is quite tough. But I really like the way Kasrkin are at the moment. They're really fun. They seem quite balanced despite their shooting nature. And they just look cool. They feel way more thematic than just going, we have elite points. That makes us more gun. We are the gun team. It is a bit disappointing they are a lot weaker in melee. But what do you expect? It's not like, you know, they're the rattling teams that could just hire Ogrins. So I'm really happy with how they've designed Kasrkin, except for how they interact with Inquisition. But it's a really nice change, a really good update. It's what we've seen for most kill teams, which is really good. But that's pretty much it from me today. Please remember to like and subscribe as well as comment. Let me know what you thought of today's video. What do you think of the updated Kasrkin rules? Do you agree? And remember, I've got a Discord you can check out for free in the episode description below, an affiliate link at Element Games, an affiliate link at Crossfire Games, and a Patreon if you want to give me some more support. And I'm going to quickly just shout out my patrons. So for my adepts of the crit, I have Zombie Businessman, Tom, Supercow, Steven, Sam, Nick, Mercenary Q, Mr. Meatwad, Lucas, John Thomas, Graham, Fangzu, Draken, Dave Meets World, Darcy, Dad of Golden's Chris, and then for my veterans of the crit, I have Samja, Ryan, and Mark. So thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me and helps support the channel. Yeah, I'm almost done with all these reviews. I think I'm over halfway, which is good. Generally really happy with how Kasrkin are. They're finally in a good spot. It's just a shame Games Workshop has designed them to be better in Inquisition, which is very strange. But otherwise, they're a really good team and actually probably a solid beginner team. The only problem is they're rubbish in melee apart from the leader, but they offer you like nice points to learning how to be really mobile and maximize getting your shots in a fair way, which is basically just running within 2 inches of the opponent, which, to be fair, is very Imperial Guard in nature. But no matter how many elite Imperial Kasrkin troopers you fight, there's always a chance to win, as long as you can roll a crit.